Hi everyone, my name is Kaylee and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay everybody, happy Saturday. I have not posted for almost 2 weeks, I feel like, because I woke up, I want to say the day after my last video with this. Yes, this. I was literally half swollen shut, and this is what it looked like underneath my eye when I decided to check what it was. It was a sty that just so happened to last a week. It's actually still kind of there. This eye is super swollen, popped a blood vessel, I'm pretty sure, you know. It's just a shit show. But I'm happy to be back and film another video for you guys. Okay, so before we get into today's story time, just my quick little usual rundown. For most of the video, I will be looking in this direction because my mirror's over here and I would like to see what I'm doing. I do tell these story times in a first person point of view, and if you don't like that, then you can leave. And these story times are sent in by anonymous people. So I'm going to bring you guys up close. There we go. Okay, so a little background information. I was 16 and a sophomore in high school, and I guess we could say that I was popular. I mean, I personally wouldn't say that about myself, but you know, that's what everybody else said. And I have two best friends who we are going to call Ariana and Tammy. We've all been best friends since I was about 4, I want to say. We all grew up in the same neighborhood. We went to the same preschool, you know. Pretty cliche. Well, Tammy has an older brother who Ariana and I both find extremely attractive. Like, and we made this pact whenever we were in 7th grade that nobody would try and get with her brother, her older brother.
It says, please do not touch the gumballs. Why are they there then?
Well, that would have been the plan, I guess, until my sophomore year of high school, when I guess I had this, you know, extreme glow up physically, and he starts flirting with me every time that I go over her house. Now, I tried to keep my cool at first, I really did, but I ended up being more into him than I should have been, and I decided that I wanted to lose my virginity to him. I don't know how you sit there and decide, oh my god, I want that person to be my first. I mean, I guess I like understand it, but I also don't at the same time. I feel like when it happens, it happens. Anyways, back to the story. Now, I had done things with people before, but I had never gone all the way. Well, the one day, Tammy, Ariana, and I were all hanging out, and we all got super drunk, and I went behind her back. Whoopsies. Not really, like, I wanted to do this. I didn't care if she found out or not. But I went behind her back and I texted her brother and I was like, oh my god, I'm so bored down here, like, we should do something, like, they're about to fall asleep, you know. So he was like, okay, well, you should come up to my room. I was like, okay. So I went up to his room. It was super awkward at first. We started talking, and then the next thing I know, my drunk ass was throwing myself on him. But apparently he cared more about his sister's feelings than I did, which is pretty bad. So he was like, okay, like, if we're gonna do anything, we need to go to your house because I'm not gonna do that with my sister in the house. You know, I don't want her finding out. And at this point, I was in full beer goggle effect, and I literally just wanted some dick. So, we walked to my house, which was literally 3 minutes down the street. So, you know, it wasn't too bad. And we went to my room. And I had like one of those rooms that was like over the garage. I forget what those are called, but yeah, it was like that, you know. So it was like not really attached to the house. I would go up in the garage to get to my room. So, you know, we start to get into the mood. We start doing stuff, and right as he pulls the condom out, my dad calls for my name. He's like yelling my name. So I ran over to the door, I locked the door, and I'm not gonna lie, it was like probably 4 in the morning, and my dad gets up really early for work, so he takes the dog out, he goes to the garage, warms his car up. His work's like an hour away. So this was pretty normal. It wasn't just like out of the blue that my dad did that, but I thought that it was like 2 in the morning. So I ran to the door, I locked it just in case he came upstairs. I looked at James and I was like, you gotta go. Like, you need to leave now.
You need to leave.
He's looking at me like, where the fuck do you want me to go? That's when I tell him to let himself out of the window. You can go now. So James hops out the back window, like the window that's in the back of my garage, and he's running his little scrawny ass through my yard to the street in his Bugs Bunny boxers. Cute. Well, my dad ended up seeing him. So I forgot that there was like a window in the back of my garage. So, you know, here's the garage, here's my room, okay? He is running out of my room. He jumps down, and there just happens to be a window. Right there, right there. So yeah, no, my dad saw him jump out, but he didn't see who it was. So I was very thankful at that, because not only were Tammy and I best friends, but my parents were also best friends with her parents. So you can see how that could have went terribly. So after I get my clothes on, I walk out of my room and I just sit there and stare at my dad. And he's like, you better have all your chores done in the morning. And then he leaves. I was like, oh, okay. Period. You know. So anyways, fast forward a month. Yes, a month. It is the Friday Night Lights. If y'all don't know what that means, it's pretty much just a football game. Well, fast forward, I am at the game, and I see James, who I really haven't talked to since that whole jumping out of my window, running down the street with his boxers on thing happened. Well, I decided to go up and talk to him, and to be honest, he wasn't really mad at the situation. He thought it was hilarious, and he was being his flirty self again, which I was super happy about because I thought I ruined my chances, to be honest. And there was really no awkwardness between us. So at that point, I'm like, hey, like, I know this little spot behind the bleachers if we want to, you know, finish what we started. Ooh. And I thought this was perfect because Tammy was on the cheer squad, so she had no business going behind the bleachers. So we get there and all is going super well at this time, you know. And then we realized that everybody could see us behind the bleachers. So we went into this old concession stand that nobody goes into, literally nobody. Like, the window of the back of it was broken and stuff like that. So we crawled through the window, and all was good, right? Wrong. Somebody comes banging on the concession stand door right as we are about to pick up the pace. Yeah, of course. Of course. So now we are both scrambling to get our clothes back on. So pretty much at this point, I'm like pissing myself because one of my lights just went off. Ignore it. I know the lighting isn't as good as it was before. Just ignore it. So like I said, at this point, I'm shitting myself because nobody comes in here. Literally nobody. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, every game that I've came to, I've always looked at, like, this concession stand. It's empty. Who would be knocking on the door? That, mind you, is literally boarded up. So, we try to go back out the window after we get our clothes on, and the window is, like, the glass was, like, on the bottom of the window, so we were literally gonna get cut the fuck up. So, we just decided that time to open the door, duck under the board, and we both bolt it. And the guy didn't even try to run after us, thank God. But this is now the second time in a row where we have been interrupted. What the fuck is next? I don't even want to know. Don't tell me. So after that, you know, leave the game, go home, and I text James and I'm like, hey, like, I don't know if you still want to do this, but I want to try to do it again. Like, I am really attracted to you. And he's like, sorry, I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Emotional, damn it.
So at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm ugly as fuck. Like, I am so freaking upset because what do you mean it's not gonna happen? Like, the last 2 times you were down, like, you were red tea. Like, both of you were ready, if you get what I mean. So at that point, I literally do not text him at all. But the Friday after, I end up going to Tammy's house. And I end up telling Tammy what happened. I'm like, hey sis, so the past like 2 months, I'm not gonna lie, I've been trying to fuck your brother. And she said she knows. I told her I'm like, sorry, I'm not gonna be able to follow the pack. Like, it's not happening. And she thought it was actually really funny. So she was like, just promise me that you won't get hurt or you guys won't get into a relationship. She was like, you know, because I don't want to have to choose somebody over somebody. She was like, it just wouldn't be good. So I'm like, okay, I promise, da-da-da. So then, Saturday, Tammy has to go to a dentist appointment, so I just hang around her house. And James comes into Tammy's room, and he's like, hey, like, you know, I'm sorry about what happened. And I was like, well, I told Tammy, so we can get down to business, or you can just, like, be a lame-ass bitch. Pick one. So he's like, I just still don't know if it's gonna happen. And I'm like, okay, whatever. It's fine. I don't care. Okay, I care a lot. Well, then the week after, right, one of James' friends starts to hit me up, who was also really attractive, like really attractive. And no, I was not talking to him to get James back. No, like, I actually, like, see, with guys, it's more of just like a sexual attraction and not like, oh my god, I want to date you. Like, I like you. I like you. No. Okay? Anyways, so I guess James got wind of this and he texted me and he's like, so what, you, like, because I won't fuck you, you're gonna go and fuck one of my friends? And I'm like, nope, that's not at all. What is going on here? I was like, I'm literally just looking for someone to hook up with. That's all. And you said you didn't want to, so why are you mad? Ew. And then guess what happens? You guys already know. He's like, well, I, like, changed my mind. Like, I want to do shit. And I'm like, oh, now you do. So now, what do? I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, I have to think about it because honestly, like, I don't even know if I want to do stuff with you anymore. Manipulation at its finest, you know what it is. So at this point, he's just like, and I'm like, no, but all jokes aside, I end up texting him a few nights after, and I'm like, are you sure that you want to do stuff still? And he's like, yeah, I wouldn't say if it wasn't true. I'm like, okay. Because no, I didn't want James's friend. I wanted James. So while everybody's sleeping the one night, he comes over to my house, and it's like 1 in the morning, you know. And finally, we get down to business. If you guys want my honest truth, whether it was good or not, it sucked balls. Not literally. No, it actually sucked. Like, we waited for nothing because it was garbage. So after that, I told Tammy, even though she literally told me she did not want to hear about it. She was like, girl, stop fucking talking about it. I don't want to hear about it. Stupid bitch. But then after things did start to get a little messy because he wanted a relationship with me and I didn't want one with him. And I did end up doing the nasty with his friend. And then Tammy ended up texting me. This was like 2 weeks after we did whatever we did. And she's like, I literally told you this is what I didn't want to happen. I was like, what's wrong? I was like, you know, we're not dating, nothing like that. She was like, no, my brother's asking me right now if I'll ask you to come over. You haven't been answering his texts apparently. Okay, everybody, that is the end of today's story time. The person who sent this in did ask me to ask you guys for some advice on what she should do. She doesn't know if she should just date him to make her best friend happy, or she should tell her best friend it's not gonna happen. In my personal opinion, yeah, I would feel bad because it was my fault, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't play with somebody's feelings like that, you know? Like, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, you know, like, let's date, and then a year later I'll tell you, yeah, I never really liked you, just did that to make your sister happy. No, that's not nice. But if you have any advice, leave it down below in the comments. The giveaway that I had talked about in my past video is still going on. I am going to make it so that the giveaway winners will be announced on April 15th instead of, I think I said the 4th last time. I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to send in your anonymous story time, make sure to click the link in the description. And if you want to see more of me, maybe hit that subscribe button down below. And if you want to know when I upload my next video, make sure to click the bell. I usually post on Saturdays. I was going to start posting on Saturdays and Wednesdays, but I'm still kind of seeing how that's going to work out. But other than that, I will see you guys next time.